Hey, welcome back to the Steve Champagne Radio Show. Welcome back, I Love Music Army. Welcome back, Facebook friends and everybody here listening today. We have an explosive show for you. I'm telling you right now, this show is going to be explosive. So I hope you are ready for it. Really, I am, because in today's episode, Bon Jovi calls it quits. Steve Perry may come back to Journey. And on top of that, we got a little sex, drugs, rock and roll. I'm wearing red here. I got red everywhere because of the red in the Super Bowl. We'll talk about the Super Bowl halftime show. And, man, what can I say about that? But hold on to your seats, because I'm telling you today, it's going to be wild, crazy, mad. Are you ready? Good. I'm glad you are. All right, let's get right into it and do what we always do when we start the show off. Say hi and happy birthday to all of our Facebook friends.
Happy birthday to.
All right, we want to say happy birthday to all our Facebook friends out there. And, of course, the I Love Music Army. So have you joined the I Love Music Army? Because today's show, of course, we got it on Facebook, but then we have the extended /R-rated version, the grown-up version, if you will, on YouTube. We want you to be a part of our I Love Music Army. But let's get to our birthdays here. Charles, I'm still sick, so we're getting over it, but we're working on it. Charles Stojkovic. I think I got that right. Happy birthday, Charles. Jennifer Carruthers, happy birthday to you, Jennifer. Peggy Jean McKean Lima. What's happening, Peggy? What's going on? Charlie Rouse. Charlie. Oh, man. What's going on, man? Happy birthday to you. I hope your day is all it turned out to be. And Christina Luzelle, if I got that last name pronounced correctly, thank you for being friends of the show, friends of mine, and part of the I Love Music Army. All right, now we got some celebrity birthdays, very influential birthdays today. Let's get right to those. We want to start by saying happy birthday to Michael McDonald, turning 72 years old today. If you remember Michael McDonald, of course, he had that big solo song, I Keep Forgetting, which actually turned into Regulate by Warren G. That was a great tune there. He actually stepped in for the Doobie Brothers when Tom Johnson was drugged up, if you will, and, gave him a couple number one hits. What a Fool Believes, a song called Real Love, Taking It to the Streets. He also sang backup on Peg from Steely Dan. He was a big part of the song Ride Like the Wind from Christopher Cross, if you remember that one, and Kenny Loggins' This Is It. He was a major part of that song as well. And Carly Simon's You Belong to Me. So, these artists, not just they write, they produce, they sing, they do all kinds of stuff. And Van Halen's dirty little secret, Michael McDonald, according to Van Halen notes, had a big part in the song I'll Wait off the 1984 Jump album there, which was a great song. But Michael McDonald turned 72 years old today. I want to say happy birthday, or at least born on this day, Ray Manzarek, who died in 2014, was 74 when he died. He would have been 84 today. The Doors co-founder and keyboard player, who actually was the mastermind and genius behind a lot of that Doors music there. I didn't really grow up a Doors fan, but I became one when I got older, because when the Doors were having their music and it was coming out, it was over my head. I was too young for it. But Ray Manzarek was definitely a big influence, with the key bass and then the main line there when you think about all those Doors songs. And they didn't have a bass player. I mean, it was Ray Manzarek playing the bass on the keyboards, and then all those great keyboard lines on top of it. And him and Jim Morrison were best buds, and they co-founded the Doors, and the rest is history, so to speak. He was also into basketball pretty heavily. He was actually going to become a basketball player, but the coach kicked him off the team for various reasons. We won't go into that. But ended up being a keyboard player, and wow, what he accomplished in the music industry is absolutely amazing. Ray Manzarek. Turning 68 years old today, we have to say a happy birthday to Arsenio Hall. You guys remember Arsenio Hall? Had that great late night show. I used to like watching Arsenio. He was really cool. He was also in Coming to America with Eddie Murphy. Him and Eddie Murphy are very good friends, as well as a good friend with Prince. He used to hang out with Prince all the time. I've heard many stories with Arsenio Hall talking about Prince, and maybe we'll get into some of that later. But nevertheless, Arsenio Hall turned 68 years old today. I got to say a special happy birthday, or at least born on this day, to Lorn Greene. Oh, my God. Yeah, he played Ben Cartwright on Bonanza for 14 years. He followed it up, really, with a show that nobody heard of called Grip. It was a canceled crime show. It didn't last very long. He's originally from Ontario, Ottawa, Canada, and he acted actually in a number of TV shows. And if you remember him in Battlestar Galactica, does anybody remember him playing Adama in Battlestar Galactica? Yeah, there is a picture of him with Betty White when she was very, very young. Nevertheless, Lorn Greene, born today and died in 1987 at 72 years old. But he also had a song called Ringo, if you never heard of that. Ringo. He had that special voice, just a great tone to his voice. Lorn Greene, happy birthday in heaven, my friend. I feel like I got to say something about this. Groundhog Day was released on this day in 1993. It was the fourth biggest movie of 1993, grossing $71 million at the box office. It starred Bill Murray, Andy McDowell, Chris Elliott. If you haven't seen the movie, it's about a newscaster set to report whether or not a groundhog sees its shadow. But he finds his day recycling over and over and over again with no apparent escape. So it's a really cool movie. If you haven't seen it, well, maybe you should rewatch it, find out where it's streaming at, and check out Groundhog Day, which was released on this day in 1993. Well, that wraps up our birthday segment right here for the Sea Champagne Radio Show. I got to ask you this question, though. What's your favorite Doors song? I mean, Rain Manzarek is fantastic. He really never got credit. You know, it was always about Jim Morrison when it comes to the Doors. But what's your favorite Doors song? And for me, as a DJ, professional entertainer, you know, you hear the hits all the time. So I like to dive a little deeper into the Doors catalog and say that my favorite Doors song is probably When the Music's Over. Hey. I love that track. Michael McDonald, what can you say about that? But I got to give a shout out here to Toby Keith. I know he just passed away recently, and I'm telling you, people are blowing Toby Keith up. Toby Keith has the number one streaming on Spotify. He has the number one streaming on YouTube. He has the number one streaming on Apple Music. Toby Keith is going crazy. And everywhere I go, people are not asking me to play a Toby Keith song. They're asking me to play many, many Toby Keith songs. So not only do you have the Doors thing going on here, which I would like for you to leave a comment on, but what's your favorite Toby Keith song? And I'll tell you, the first song I ever heard by Toby Keith was Does That Blue Moon Ever Shine on You? And I thought that was a really good song. But the song that I really, really enjoy from Toby Keith, we got to go way back in the catalog as well. I remember hearing a band cover it, and I didn't know it was Toby Keith. And that was Should Have Been a Cowboy. And I was like, man, I really like that song. Who did it? You know? And he said Toby Keith did that song. I wasn't a huge country fan at the time, and that song has just stuck with me. I love Should Have Been a Cowboy. I mean, obviously, there's other legendary Toby Keith songs, especially courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue, which is I Love This Bar, Red Solo Cup, Who's Your Daddy? I mean, we can go on and on. How Do You Like Me Now? I mean, Toby Keith's got so many great hits, and I was absolutely stunned when he passed away because he had just done that awards show. He had done some concerts, and I was shocked with Toby Keith passing because I thought he was on his way back. You know, and he did all these interviews saying he was feeling better or whatever. And, you know, I was just absolutely stunned. And it went fast, too, with Toby Keith. So, all right, we got to get some goofy holidays in here. I remember today's show, Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll. Well, we already did a little bit of the drugs, and we're about to get into the sex right now. So hang on to your butt. All right, we got to get to our Goofy Holiday segment here, one of my favorite segments. However, today I must say I'm about to go off on these holidays because I don't know who invents this stuff, but by God, it's a national holiday. You can Google it if you don't believe me. But the first holiday we have today is Get a Different Name Day. Get a Different Name Day is for those people that just don't like their name that was given to them at birth. You got a first name, a middle name, a last name. Some people don't even want to speak their middle name. I know a lot of people that don't want to do that. It really wasn't our choosing, though. Our parents gave us this name. And if you don't like your name, today is the day to get a different name. Now, for those people that don't know this, Steve Champagne is not my real name. I was given that at a young age. I will go into that story briefly. I'll give you a quick synopsis of this because it's actually a long story, but we're going to make it real short. There was a friend of mine. His name was Lane Champagne. He was DJing in the club, and he was just a great DJ. He could do all the mixing, scratching. I mean, this guy was just amazing. And I was playing drums with a band, and he admired me. I admired him. I once just went over and told him how great I thought he was, and then he told me, he complimented me, and he made a deal that he would teach me how to mix and scratch and do all this cool DJ stuff if I taught him how to play the drums, which we did. He ended up coming to the skating rink I worked at, and then the next thing you know, I'm doing my skills at the skating rink. I got the headset on. I got a friend of mine in the DJ booth. This little kid comes up, and he says, "Hey, what's the guy's name? What's his name?" And my friend told the kid that my name was Steve Champagne, kind of joking around. And the kid told everybody in the skating rink my name was Steve Champagne, and the next thing you know, I'm Steve Champagne. I've been that way for 40, 50 years. I don't even know how long it's been now. But it's been a long time. But that's how I got the name Steve Champagne. Well, just a brief story there. Now, how do you get a different name? Now, for those people that like their name and they're cool, what about a porn star name? Have you ever had – this is the sex part. Everybody wants to hear sex. Oh, yeah, we got to talk about sex. How do you get your porn star name? Well, your porn star name is if, your first pet's name, your very first pet when you were a kid, whatever that pet's name was, and the street you grew up on. So my case, my porn star name would be Taffy Maple. Taffy. Ooh, Taffy. Yes. That's what's your porn star name? I'll drop a comment here. Your first pet and the street you grew up on, what would be your porn star name if you changed your name today to a porn star? Or do you like your name? Some people just don't even like it. Now Steve is becoming extinct. Nobody names their kid Steve anymore. That's for sure. But that's our very first goofy holiday. Now, remember, these holidays are supposed to be celebrated tomorrow, which is on the 13th of February, which is the day before the 14th, obviously, and that is Valentine's Day. And why? I don't even know how they come up with this stuff, but this is a national holiday. Now, get this, a national holiday. National Mistress Day. It's a night for guys to be able to behave badly. Now, you're supposed to celebrate this. I don't know how good that's going to work out for you if you're married or if you have a longtime girlfriend, but it's Mistress Day. It's the day that straying boyfriends and husbands set aside for other women. Since they're spending actual Valentine's Day with their girlfriends and wives, they go out and have do something with their other their other significant other, if you will. And I mean, they're, whatever they got to do. And then of course they come back home. I love you, honey, on the 14th. And they go and buy a card at the last second here. Now I'm thinking, okay, well, we've all heard about congressmen, senators cheating on their wives. I mean, they even made a movie about it once, Clint Eastwood, Absolute Power, if you remember that movie. And there's been multiple other movies about, people in political power cheating on their wives. And this is not about women cheating on men. This is about men cheating on women. Now, not only is this degrading to every honest man out there who actually is faithful to their woman, but, what about national, what do you call a girl who's got somebody on the side? I don't know. What is that? What is that? I mean, she's not allowed to do that? If you're going to have National Mistress Day for men, why not do one for the girls? I think it's a goofy, stupid holiday. I think it's actually insulting. I think it's actually, absolutely degrading. And these people that make these holidays, now this is a national holiday. How do you get to be a national holiday? Well, someone's got to vote on it. Now, I don't know who put this law into place, and I'm not going to go on a political tirade here, but this is absolutely insane that we're spending taxpayer dollars for someone to come up with a holiday, National Mistress Day, where it's okay to cheat on your wife or your girlfriend, which is absolutely insane, right before Valentine's Day. I mean, who cheats more, though? Who do men cheat more than women? I mean, well, they got National Mistress Day, or do women cheat more than men? And why do people cheat? Maybe they're not getting the proper sex life that they deserve, and they're just looking for something different, or maybe they've been doing the same old for years and years and years, and they want something different. Who knows? But it is not a good thing. I advise you highly not to celebrate this holiday tomorrow, National Mistress Day. I'm not going to go into that any further, but I got to tell you, I'm upset that is even out there. And the porn star name thing, well, of course, you can be a porn star to your wife or your girlfriend, which is what I do recommend that you do on Valentine's Day. So what's your porn star name? I got to know about that, and that's going to wrap up our goofy holiday segment for this week on the Steve Champagne Radio Show. Oh, my God. I want to thank the Pirates Cove for last week's Where I Headed To segment. But now we have a new place we went to. Another thing that I got to tell you, and I got some really big news about this, but because it's Valentine's, coming up in just a few days, Valentine's weekend, a lot of people get married. So I go to this place because they've asked me to do a wedding. I'm dressed to the nines. I've got my equipment polished, shined up, lights in perfect position. And some people just like to have fun at their wedding. And I would like to share with you now what happened at this wedding ceremony.
And to keep the shit show going for as long as you both shall live.
I do.
Ruth, do you take Dean to be your lawfully wedded husband, to love and to comfort him for better or worse, in sickness and in health, tolerate home improvements no matter how big or small, and to keep the shit show going for as long as you both shall live?
Wait a minute. Time
Fuck
out.
yes.
Time out.
Repeat after me, please.
No.
Repeat after me, please.
Yes.
Ruth, I give you this ring as a symbol of that I love you.
Ruth, I give this ring as a symbol that I love you.
Honor you, cherish you.
Honor and cherish you.
I will not complain if my toast and coffee isn't ready.
I will only complain if you don't get BRCC coffee.
And I will try to clean them after myself.
That's not gonna happen.
What's the next part? I will try to clean up after myself.
All right, Ruth, it's your turn.
Okay.
Repeat after me.
Okay.
Dean, I give you this ring as a symbol that I will love you, honor you, cherish you, and that I'll try not to.
That's the ones who try to repeat.
Try not to what?
Can we start over?
Try not to what?
Nag you about spending too much time on your excavator. I will deal with your clothes not making it to the hamper, and I will even make you dinner once in a while.
Because he can cook. Just say.
Yeah.
Good?
Wild game's the best.
What? This is why we went down tonight.
Because I thought I was hanging there earlier.
Well, shit. Good job, guys, getting those rings sized in time for today. I'm not doing this ceremony again. So put those ropes for now and tie it around your neck until you get them sized. I did it so you can put your ring on it.
Ring on.
Get it off.
Heavy, just. Oh God, you got it down.
What it was is the rope now and tie it around your neck until you get them sized. Your necklace will now be a symbol of a noose. I mean, of love for each other. Close to your heart. I guess there's only one thing left to do, and that's for me to do my part. By the power vested in me by the state of Florida, I now pronounce you husband. Wait a minute. We have to make this official. Official shit show.
There you go.
Oh God.
Fireball.
Fireball. Okay, now I can make it truly official. I now pronounce you husband and wife. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to present to you Mr. and Mrs. Richards. Well, folks, that wraps things up.
I mean, that was crazy. From the bubblegum rings to the nooses, well, they put around their neck, and the noose they had on the little gazebo thing there. That was absolutely insane. Dean and Ruth, man, I really enjoyed it. I had a great time. I hope you had as much fun as I did. And at least 100+ guests, and God knows how many bikes that were just scattered all over the place. Now, this was held at the AMVETS 444 post, and I'm going to tell you, this is a wonderful place to go. I have been there a few times before, and I will tell you that everybody there is so friendly. I know a lot of places you go to for the first time, they're tight and this, that, and the other. People saying hello. I mean, it's always nice and pleasurable there. They have a big taste in music. I mean, the spectrum is huge from the kind of music that they like at that particular place. But I got big news to tell you about AMVETS Post 444, and I am, oh my God, it's on fire. So I'm looking around at the place, and I see all kinds of signs and stuff. And one of the signs that I just so happened to notice is they are doing a huge karaoke contest. And when I mean huge, they have sponsors and everything. It's going to be an elimination karaoke contest. $500 for the best lady, $500 for the best man. Now that's $1,000 total. The men don't have to worry about competing with the women. The women don't have to worry about competing with the men, which makes the contest fair. And on top of that, the elimination portion of the tournament. Now, if you want more details on this, I will be glad to give it to you right now. AMVETS Post 444. The contest will begin on Friday the 23rd. Now, you have to sign up for this thing. You don't have to be a member to sign in. Now, that's part of this whole deal that makes it so fantastic is that you don't have to be a member, so anybody can be a part of this contest. So $500, I mean, come on. It's an elimination contest, which really makes the contest fair because as people get eliminated, strategy's involved. You don't want to sing your worst song because you could get eliminated. But if you sing your best song, then you can't repeat a song once you sing it. So, it really makes it a nice, interesting American Idol or The Voice style tournament. And the prize is $500 in cash. That's right. Cold, hard cash. AMVETS Post 444. You are just going to have to go out here and see this. Now, Bill Foster, who is one of the head dogs at Premier Events in Ocala, is putting on the contest. So this is a big event. I've worked for Premier Events before. In fact, I have another event with them coming up this coming weekend that I'm be taking some video because it's a really cool place where we're going and what we're going to be doing this coming week. But wow, karaoke contest, $1,000, $500 for the girl, $500 for the guy. And that's post 444. And it all starts, what was that date again? Let's get that date right. February 23rd. That's on a Friday night, guys, at 7 o'clock. You're going to have to sign up for this thing because there's so much buzz in the contest. They can only have a limited amount of contestants. And to the best of my knowledge right now, they have over 15 or 16, maybe 17 contestants from when I talked to them about the contest. So you're going to want to sign up for it because, so many people want to win this money and be in a tournament that's not rigged or this, that, and the other. In fact, they've asked me to come down towards the end of the contest to help with eliminations, possibly do sound and lights for a big production at the very end. So this is going to be a pretty big event at AmVets post 444. Be a part of it. Absolutely, right now. All right, as I'm in the studio, you can see the drums back there, the mixing console, and, of course, the keyboards back behind me. People are asking, hey, when are you going to play on the show? We want to see you play. We want to see you do your thing. Okay, well, that's great. I'll get to that. Maybe not in today's show because we have a lot of exciting news. Of course, Super Bowl stuff and, of course, this Bon Jovi thing. But before we get to all of that, I got to tell you, if you want to jam with me, because a lot of people say, I'd love to jam with you sometimes, man. Hey, the Pirates Cove out in Inglis, which we talked about last week, is going to be doing an open jam starting February 18th. Now, that's this coming Sunday. I'm bringing the keyboards. I'm bringing a guitar, PA, some microphones. Come and jam with me, sing with me, or whatever. Or you bring your own guitar. We'll plug you into the PA, and you can get up there and play acoustic or whatever you want to do, showcase your originals. It's an open jam and something new that's happening at Pirate Cove. But I want all my musician friends to come out there, hang out with me. Of course, I'm going to play then. We might take some video from that and put it on the show so you can see what's going on. But as I mentioned last week and showed last week, it is a really cool place with Showbiz Liz, and the Pirates Cove is going to be popping this coming Sunday. We want you to be a part of the open jam with me, Steve Champagne. Let's jam together, guys. I can't wait. We got a lot of big name acts to talk about, and the one we're going to talk about right now is Bon Jovi. We'll get to the Steve Perry thing maybe on the YouTube show if you're a Journey fan, but let's talk about Bon Jovi right now and what has happened to him. As all these music icons are getting older, things are failing. Bon Jovi said his voice is done. It's shot. He's canceled his tour. He doesn't know if he'll ever be able to sing again. And, I got a lot of respect for Bon Jovi, realizing that he's got problems with his voice and he can't perform on the level that you, the paying customer, the one that's paying these astronomical ticket prices for, to give them the show that they rightfully deserve. Unlike some other artists out there like Motley Crue and Vince Neil, who I don't know if you've seen those clips on YouTube or places that have been posted where his voice is just terrible. And Paul Stanley at Kiss, that they not very good, and they actually ended up using backing tracks, just pretty much showing up on stage. At least that's what the rumor mill is, that they're lip syncing in a lot of these shows. And when you're paying all that money per tickets, the last thing you want is a band to be lip syncing or not really playing. You want to see them perform, like the artists that they are. So Bon Jovi says, I can't do it. And that is sad, because Bon Jovi is a great artist. He's a great performer, and he's got so many great songs out there. What is your favorite Bon Jovi song? There's a lot of people out there that, it's just Living on a Prayer, Wanted Dead or Alive, obviously two big ones. I will tell you that, as I mentioned earlier in the show when it came to the Doors, what my favorite Doors song is. When it comes to Bon Jovi, you got to dig deep into the catalog, because you've heard Prayer and You Give Love a Bad Name and Dead or Alive and all these songs over and over again, Runaway, et cetera, et cetera. My Bon Jovi favorite song would probably have to be, Let me think for a second. My favorite Bon Jovi song would probably have to be depending on my mood, because Wanted Dead or Alive is very near and dear to my heart because of what he talks about in the song, playing music. And, this is pretty much how I spent my life, being wanted dead or alive. I mean, it's just the way that it is. But a lot of people don't know Have a Nice Day, which is something that he did, I don't know, maybe 12 years ago, something like that. And that song is just absolutely fantastic. Thank You for Loving Me is one of his lesser known hits that are very beautiful ballad that he did. And, Till We Ain't Strangers Anymore, he did a duet with Leanne Rimes. It's very good because I've heard the hits over and over and over again. So it's not that I don't like those songs, but those are the ones that really make me smile because they're just special songs. And today's, let's face it, the older artists, I mean, Bon Jovi puts out a record, you'll hear it for a minute, and then boom, they're not going to play it anymore because it's reserved for Usher or Cardi B or somebody like that. And really nobody's playing these older artists if they make a new record. Kenny Wayne Shepherd's got a new record out. Rock radio is barely playing it because he's not hard and heavy. And I do have some news. If you want to hear a radio station with new music from older artists, or where to go, we'll do that in a future show because we don't want to take up all of your time today. But what do you think about Bon Jovi calling it quits? What do you think about that? I mean, how many artists? I mean, look how old Eric Clapton is. We heard about Peter Frampton. Huey Lewis can't hear anymore. A lot of people are like, Huey Lewis. Huey Lewis is great. I mean, this guy's really, really good. But back to the Bon Jovi thing, what do you think about these artists that they can't do it? Very few people, Sammy Hagar maybe, Steven Tyler can still perform at a high level, but it's hard to perform, period, much less at a high level when you are charging those ticket prices that are being charged to go see a show. And as a front man, it'd be different if Bon Jovi was some guitar icon or a keyboard player where he just sat down and played the keyboards like Billy Joel, Elton John. But he's a front man, so he's got to move, he's got to groove. That takes breath, that takes cardiovascular. It takes so much effort for him to do that 90 minutes or 2 hours and play all those songs and then sing them properly on top of that. Night after night after night, week after week after week, it is hard to do. And what do you think about Bon Jovi saying, no, can't do it anymore? Just can't. What do you think about that? I would love to hear your thoughts on that in the comment section. This show is about music and the I Love Music Army, which hopefully you are a part of on my YouTube channel. You can do that by subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the description down there. But, discussions about music, your thoughts, because I learn and get educated a lot from the people watching the show when they comment and they say things like, oh, my favorite Bon Jovi song is this, or my favorite Doors song is this, or yeah, I want to jam with you at this Pirates Cove thing, or I want to go here, I want to do this, or maybe, just maybe, you want me to check out your band or your venue if you're a business owner. You want me to come down there and feature you, which I don't have a problem doing. Just got to put it in the comment section. Message me. I did have a gentleman last week message me, wanted me to come and see his band, but I was already booked on that day, so I couldn't come. But I would love to come see your band, talk music, and promote your band, or maybe you're just a duo or a single act doing nothing but acoustic. Music is music. There's a lot of great performers in the area, and I want to showcase all of them right here on the Steve Champagne Radio Show. So if you know somebody you think I should feature, or a band you think I should feature, or a venue you think I should feature, by all means, message me. If I can make it down there, we try to schedule these things in advance, a long time in advance, and I am booked up for the next several weeks on what we're going to be featuring, but we would squeeze you in if you tell me all about it. So that's why the comments are very, very important. Absolutely they are. All right, music lovers, we got to say a little something about the Super Bowl. The halftime show was just there. We just went through this halftime show thing, Usher doing his thing. And I got to tell you, I was only impressed with one thing, and that's he sang and he danced very well. And that's very difficult to do while singing. I didn't like the set arrangement or the mix or how things were. At the very end when he did, he played 2 minutes of the song, which I thought was great. He played 30 seconds of the other 10 songs that he did, which to me wasn't enough time to get into it. In some cases, only 20 seconds or less. I thought it was very poorly planned. I didn't think it was a tremendous show, although I thought he did what he did do well, but I didn't like the arrangement of the mix and how that worked out. I really didn't. I just didn't. When I look at the greatest Super Bowl shows of all time, just remember Tom Petty when he did the Super Bowl. He just got up there and he played his songs, and he was great. When Paul McCartney did his thing, when Springsteen did his thing, when Bruno Mars did his thing. To me, Bruno was the best. U2 did their thing during the 9/11 year, 2001 there, or 2002 Super Bowl when, U2 did their thing, and they were fantastic. There's been a lot of great performances, and this, to me, was not one of them. What do you think about that? What do you think about the Super Bowl? I mean, is Taylor Swift next for the Super Bowl because she's got this, and the NFL was, catering to her. You had so many celebrities out there. Why didn't you show her reaction or their reaction? Jay-Z was there. Beyonce was there. I mean, what are you not saying? Beyonce has got some cachet with Jay-Z by her side. I mean, maybe they didn't want to be on TV. I get it. I understand Taylor Swift is dating Travis Kelce, a member of the Kansas City Chiefs. Congratulations to them, by the way, for winning a very close and tough-fought Super Bowl. But the Chiefs got number 15. And you got number 15, you always got a chance. But we're not going to talk sports here. We're talking music and celebrities who I think got dissed, and Taylor Swift gets all this publicity. Now, I am not a major Taylor Swift fan. I'm not a major Taylor Swift fan because you have to be able to relate to the person's music that you listen to in some capacity. And I only can relate to about this much of Taylor music's catalog. I'm not saying she sucks. I'm not saying she's a bad artist. I'm not saying she's not talented. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm saying for me personally, I can only relate to this much of her material. It's just not where I've been in my life, and I can't relate to a lot of her songs. So therefore, she's not, high up on my list. I mean, and people will say, well, maybe you're just top 40 guy. Well, Adele is top 40, and I can relate to a lot of what she has to say. I just can't relate to what Taylor has to say, but that doesn't mean she's untalented. I think she's very talented. I think her best songs are yet to come. I really do. I think she's going to make better music in the future than she has been making, although some people will say, how great is the music she's making now? I just disagree with that statement, and we all have our own opinions. And what's your opinion? What do you got in the comments section about the Usher halftime show, Taylor Swift, all the coverage she's getting from that? I would love to hear from you because this show's about interaction. It's about talking to everybody who watches these videos and, being educated to some degree because, I don't know everything. Some fans out there, they know so much about these artists, way far and beyond what I know. I could just tell you what my experiences are, what my feelings are, and that's why I want to hear from you. That's why you need to be part of the I Love Music Army if you love music, right? That's why you hit the like and subscribe button and the share button. Spread this video around. Let's spread the joy and love of music and talking about music. That people love to discuss music. I get so many people all the time talking to me. They want to know my opinion on this song or that song or the other song or this band or who was better than this. And we're going to be getting into all those debates as the year progresses. But right now, it's time to do something else. All right, so before I finish the studio off, I made a video that I was reluctant to release because it was a rumor I had heard, so I kind of made a prediction. And then I said to myself, I don't know if I can talk about this. I don't know if I can talk about this. So I was hesitant to do it. But now I've heard a few more things. So what I would like to do now is share with you a video about Steve Perry coming back to Journey and how it's going to happen. This video was made before Christmas, so check it out, and maybe you'll see where I'm coming from on this very enlightening video, how this is going to happen. Welcome back to the Sea Champagne Radio Show. Welcome back, I Love Music Army. Welcome back, Journey fans, Steve Perry fans from around the globe, and anybody interested in Steve Perry coming back to Journey, or those people that are naysayers saying he will never come back. This guy's out of his mind. Thank you for watching the show, and I'm going to tell you, I'm about to drop a bombshell here, because for those people that have followed me for years and years and years and years on the show have known that I have been right about many musical predictions in my career. And I'm going to be right about this one. And it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. And what I mean by that is how fast what I'm going to tell you is going to happen depends really upon you, and we'll go through that in just a second here. But first, let's briefly say this. Why is Steve Perry not in Journey now? Does anybody know the real reason why? Does anybody know the real reason? Because I know the real reason. There's a lot of people, they do all this chirping and talking, and it's all this. I know the real reason, okay? And I'm going to tell you the real reason he's not in Journey right now. And it ain't a feud or anything like that. It's anxiety, stress, and pressure. When you have been at the top of the mountain, so to speak, like Steve has. I mean, one of the greatest singers, one of the greatest performers, greatest frontmen, definitely in the history of rock music. The stress and pressure of having to sing and perform those songs, especially at the age he's at now, night after night, week after week, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's almost impossible, if not impossible. I mean, really. That's just really what it is. And who wants all that stress and pressure put upon you? That's the real reason. It's not the money. It's not the feud. He knows that he cannot be what he was at 25, 30 years old and 35 years old. 40 years old. And I get that. I don't have a problem with it, but I know how he can and will come back to Journey. I know why he will. I mean, he's making money now off the band. He's not in the band, but money's not the big object. But I'm going to tell you now how he's going to come back and why he will come back. And it's very, very simple. No one's ever thought of this. This is the amazing part. No one's ever thought of this. Not one podcast, not one, Howard Stern, Eddie Trunk. You could go on and on with these national guys that got syndicated shows that got heard all over the world. Not one person, not one magazine has ever suggested this. Not one person. But I'm going to suggest it, and I'm going to tell you why and how it will happen. Are you ready? Better hold on to your seat here, because when I tell you this, you're going to go, yeah, this guy's right. And that is this. Journey Unplugged. That's right, Journey Unplugged. And this is why it will work. It will solve every problem. And here are the problems that it will easily solve. Number one, if you rework the songs, the hits that they've already done, 12, 13, 15 songs at the most, you have these songs reworked. Steve does not have the pressure of having to hit these astronomically high notes that he used to sing. You know that they're talented enough as a band to, and how great Neil Sean can play an acoustic guitar, how they can rework the song or songs, and just change them. There will be, look at what Eric Clapton did with Layla. You remember that in the Unplugged? series. Look what Rod Stewart, first song, Hot Legs, didn't sound nothing like the original Hot Legs. The Eagles with Hotel California, how they changed it. How there's so many artists that did the Unplugged series, they changed all these songs. And if they change the songs, he won't have to sing those notes. He could sing it differently because it'll be, the same thing, only different, if you will. A new version of an older song. And I really don't have to do the hits, all of them, if they don't want to. That's number one. That'll solve the money problem with Jonathan Cain and Neil Schon, because you know how much money's going to come in if they do this. Do you have any idea? And if they film it, you don't think ABC, NBC, Fox, CBS, Hulu, Netflix, HBO, Cinemax, every station in the world is going to want to buy the rights to this performance that they would do, this one-off? Are you kidding me? It would be one of the biggest musical events in the history of music. I mean, you talk about, if you knew on, let's just say this. Let me just say this. If you knew November 16th, I don't care what date it is, I'm not even looking at a calendar, that Steve Perry was going to be on with Journey live on HBO or any station, you wouldn't be tuned in. The whole world would be watching. I mean, it would be a global sensation. But this is why you are a big part of this. First off, they found Arnell on YouTube. That's what they did. They were looking on YouTube. They were listening. They were trying to figure things out. It's got to get in their ear. And the way it's going to get in their ear is from you. This suggestion no one's ever suggested, none of these national people have ever suggested, has got to get in their ear. Jonathan Cain, Neil, Steve, somebody's got to hear it. Their manager, that new manager they got, who said big changes are coming. Remember that? Big changes are coming. It's got to get in their ear. And how's it going to get in their ear? By liking this video, subscribing to this channel, sharing this video on social media pages that you have, to where it's going to, let's get it viral. If this video goes viral, if this suggestion goes viral, they will do it. Remember how many people said never? Axl Rose, no way we're going to do this. Van Halen, impossible. But they did. They came back. Everybody, we're calling it quits. We're not doing this. But they came back because something went viral and the money was offered. And I'm telling you right now, as sure as I'm sitting in this chair, as sure as you're watching this video, if this goes viral, if this happens, if this idea gets put out there, you're going to hear Eddie Trunk talk about it. You're going to hear Howard Stern talk. You're going to hear everybody talk about this, and it's going to get in their ear. And then something will happen. I promise you. I've been right about a lot of things in the music industry, and I'm telling you, I'm right about this. I feel it. The universe is talking to me and told me to make this video. And that's why I made it. Now, the Steve Champagne Radio Show and the I Love Music Army, it's easy to join. Just hit that subscribe button. Of course, the like button we would love for you to hit to get this viral. And then the bell icon. And once you hit that bell icon, boom, then you're notified of any future videos we make, and it puts you in the I Love Music Army. Join our internet musical global family of friends as we talk about all styles of music from all decades and all genres, and we want you to be a part of the discussion. Now, I read every single comment. I do. At night, I read them all. And I comment and interact with so many fans out there, and I would love to be communicating with you. Yeah, so what do you think about the Steve Perry thing? I mean, is this, in the scope of, well, I know it's pretty red in the background here, but this is the Chiefs' day. They won the Super Bowl. Usher did not, in my opinion. So I got to wear red for the Chiefs and do the whole red thing there to celebrate the Super Bowl, one of the biggest things of the year. Now, we do have some other things that we want to discuss on today's show. And if you have something you want us to talk about in next week's show or future shows, please make sure you drop a comment down there, and we'll be glad to try to touch on that subject as soon as we possibly can. I really want to hear what you have to say about the Bon Jovi losing his voice, calling it quits. That's kind of big news there. Michael McDonald, we didn't talk too much about him from the Doobie Brothers, but he's a great artist, and you may not even have known he worked on all those special songs. What are your top Doors songs? Give me your top Bon Jovi songs. Let's talk, let's chat. And for those people that have bands, or maybe you're a solo or you're into a duo, tell me where you're playing at. Let me come check you out. Let me film you, promote you on the show, promote the venue you're at, talk about all the cool things that happen in your career and all the musical places you've been to. We can have a great live interview and a lot of fun too. I look forward to interacting with everybody that interacts with me. So leave those comments, talk to me, and let me come see your band perform. And hopefully, for those people that are local, I'll get to see you as soon as possible. Now, for those people that aren't or live in the area, watching the show from all over the place, we want to thank you as well. Now, if you haven't signed up for our YouTube channel, we're almost at 7,000 subscribers, which to me is a big milestone, but I'm trying to reach 10,000 by the end of the year, and I want you to be a big part of that. Join our internet musical global family of friends called the I Love Music Army. Be a part of that. If you love music and entertainment, we want you to be a part of the show. Help us grow and reach those 10,000 subscribers, which actually I'm amazed I almost have 7,000. We're almost there. You could make a big difference today. In the meantime, our extended YouTube show goes on live at 8 o'clock. It'll be some of the same things you saw right here on Facebook, but some different stuff like the Steve Perry thing we talked about. I'm going to put that video on there, and we'll talk about Steve Perry and how he's going to come back to Journey and how he's going to do it. I know a lot of people are dying to hear, big diehard Journey fans, of what he's going to do. We'll get to that, but for now, we have to say adieu from the Steve Champagne Radio Show. Take care. God bless. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you each and every week. Peace, baby.